Now let's break down the blockchain trilemma. I mentioned this before when I showed the triangle, but let's go into the three different areas in the trilemma. There's decentralization, scalability, and securitability. So first up is the scalability challenge. To do thousands of transactions at a certain moment in time becomes a challenge because there's a throughput of how many transactions you do per block. And I mentioned before, block spaces can run out of space. So you can only do so many transactions per block at the current moment. There are ways to solve these problems. But as mentioned before, when you solve for one problem, you usually give up the advantages or the strengths you had in the other two areas. Or you could solve for two problems, you become significantly weaker in the other area. So decentralization is natural to blockchains. They aim to have hundreds of thousands of nodes and validators in the system that are verifying these transactions in real time at the same time across networks, across different communication points. And then security is a really big factor in blockchains as well, because if you have millions, billions, and trillions of dollars in these networks, you want to know that it's reliable, it's secure, and there's honest behavior. So Bitcoin at the current point, which we'll describe and define next, has solved for security and decentralization, as has Ethereum. But there are other chains that will solve for scalability, and they will give up on security and they'll give up on decentralization because they're more centralized and they have fewer nodes validating it. So they control the access points, and because they control it and they give up on security features, they can do more transactions per second. So they're able to scale from 5,000 to 50,000 plus transactions per second. But we'll break down which ones are important, why it's important to look at security, why it's important to break down decentralizations, and the challenges with scalability next.